This video is a quick overview of the Situational Awareness Viewer that's been configured as part of a New Zealand GIS for Emergency Management training set. It's based on the ArcGIS Online template for Situational Awareness Viewer, but you'll see here I've added some New Zealand examples. Here in the Information Summary widget, you can see that there's 9 NZTA road events in my area of interest. As I move the map, it'll change the number and just give me a quick overview of what each of these events are and where they're located. I can turn these layers off right from this tool, so it acts as sort of an interactive table of contents or layer list. I can focus on any of these live feeds, such as earthquakes from GeoNet, something that might be more interesting during wildfire season is MODIS hotspots. This could be a fire detected from NASA satellites, or it could be a farmer burning off their crops, but either way, provides some early detection and updates a few times per day. We can also see here weather alerts from Met Service. Met Service is using a protocol called CAP, Common Alerting Protocol, and here you can see it as a live feed on this map, and a little more information about what this heavy rain watch means for the area. So we see the Situational Awareness Viewer being a great tool both at a local or regional level or even national level, thanks to the availability of these new live feeds. It's meaningful for a day-to-day watch officer or other people who have operational roles. When a disaster or an event does occur, we can use this same viewer to begin to respond. We can see here someone's edited some open facilities, and I can begin to get some situational awareness. Which brings me to my next point. There's a widget in here called the Situational Awareness widget. What this allows me to do is define any area of interest. It could be a simple point and a buffer, let's say for a hazardous material incident. And it tells me what's in that immediate area. So you see here I've made a buffer with a radius of 4 kilometers. And I can get a rough estimate using New Zealand stats data, for instance, of how many people live there. And this is using the New Zealand Deprivation Index, so I can look at not just the numbers of who lives there, but who they are. I can see the number of schools that might be impacted, as well as the number of students, using an open data set from the Ministry of Education. If I have a data set of CDEM centers for across New Zealand, we can see which one of those might be affected or need to be open. Madai, from a database coming from TPK. Cell towers, also an open data set that we've made available here in ArcGIS Online. Transpower sites for some high-level energy impacts. And then, as you'll see in later videos, if we actually have an active operation, we can monitor things like field assessments from the field. This is really powerful and offers a simple way to understand the potential impacts and to begin responding to an event. There's an edit tool here that allows me to quickly add some points to the map based on their type. And this could be done by a CDEM manager or someone in operations or even planning. All I have to do is click on a map and drop a point. I can come back here and fill in more details later, but for now I've designated that as a fuel depot. So this viewer has lots of these great capabilities that are designed just for emergency management, as well as your more traditional GIS type functions, such as showing a legend for what layers are currently on my map, a layer list, which can be quite overwhelming, so often we try to limit the number of layers we put into this map, but this is a generic example we're using for a national use case. And this just allows me to turn layers on and off on my map. You've seen the Information Summary widget. I've also got an ability to add some data on the fly. This could be data coming from my ArcGIS Online organization or outside of my organization. It can also be from a URL from an ArcGIS service, WMS, KML, GRSS, or even a CSV file online. And then finally, you can even add things like shape files that are zipped up, CSV, GPX, and GeoJSON. And if you don't know what that means, that's okay. But for instance, a GPX file is something that comes off a GPS receiver. So even if you were using ad hoc data to quickly get an understanding of what's gone on in the field, you could add it to your map and begin to analyze the impact. And then finally, everyone's favorite is the ability to simply change the base map. So while these are layers that I can click on that you see on the map, we call these incident data or base data. A base map provides the backdrop for my map. It just gives me some context for what's around. Most people like to turn on things like imagery when they need a real tactical overview of what's in the area. But for some thematic data sets, you might want to use this new vector-based map called streets. And it's a nighttime version, which is easier on the eyes and helps to show some thematic data. Or you can mute the base map altogether and put something on there like a light gray canvas map. There are lots of options, but I just wanted to give you an overview of some of the capabilities of the Situational Awareness Viewer. I'll put together a series of shorter videos that highlight each one of these capabilities. There's great documentation available through the ArcGIS solutions on how to build this at a high level. And then from the training story map, there's actually a step-by-step tutorial on how to build this exact viewer. You can try it out by clicking on the link. You can see the template that was used, or you can take a tutorial on how to build this. So now any government agency, or even nonprofit in New Zealand, can build a situational awareness viewer using this exact web map as a starting point. That's all I wanted to show today. If you have any questions, please send an email to the email pasted in the comments below. Thank you.